All right, Shalom Israel. Really, Isupk out of 1 West 125th Street, and New York, under command of General Yohana. I'm prison officer your card, and today we're about to begin to the Sabbath service. See, I imagine which means to stand. Nice round, which means to Israel. Right at the east, south, which means to turn. Most perfect you. Aber now, what's the mind? That's, yeah, you can't get over. But look, that's the heart of Saka. You have to shine our rapper. For one, you have a mind of something, one, tongue, card, or one. What's a lot more, or what, what's a lot more, or what, and well, we know, it's a ball, or sign, young, yeah, car, lock, or rock. Why, well, I'm your man. In English, our father, we try to help for the power. You know, come with the done it because it's not. Because still, it's good of you for debts. Because they were debtors, it was not a temptation. And there was from evil, for by his king, the power, and the God for us to give. We say, my car, the power, by shut me up a shot. Of shot, and now, a car, kind of a car, but the heart is right, car, and the young car. Wow, in English, Lord, in the name of your child, please give us the power for the heat, all manners of disease, for the place of nothing, for there is a dead, for the spirits, cast them out. In the name of your child, thank you. So, yeah. Someone, that's usually heat. Power, my shut, your shot, or now, my child, my yacht, fire, rock, my shut, your shot, your man. You said, Lord, in the name of your child. Bless us and teach us in the name of your child. Thank you. So be it. It's 121 in the kingdom. Mashah, the young, the young, the Maha, the young, the young, the power, the trust, the young, the right, the time, the walk of God, the young, the smart, the one, the high, the church of mind, the power, the mark, the desire, thank God. The young, the young, the much, the high, the God, the rock, the God, the power. Shema, 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 in the each said, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills from whence cometh my help. That come from the Lord, which will never fear. Where somebody could be moved, and they keep you in the summer. Before, keep the Israel shall not someone sleep. The Lord is a keeper, the Lord is shade upon our right hand. The sun shall not strike by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from both evil, and soon. The Lord shall preserve thy good out, and thy coming from the same forth, like the morning. They say Sabbath the Trinidad, a la height of the car, out of the rush, out of the plan, over the God, and the one. Over Shmiaka, Shmiyash, and the Makali, and the Bas, and the God, and the God. Height is one. The one God, the Maro, the cow, the Gary, the Pali, the Kashmir, the God, the Yad, the height is one. The Pali, Kali, and the Kab, Arias, Rafa, Pali, and the one, right, Shemai, Alayan, or Abba, on the right. The one on the left, shot. the Shabbat as a more Kakashu, and a walk my mama was on a white with spa, Shilaham, and Magic as it's spa, and that one, and a car, or dash, and Shamaru, and a rock, and walk, man, and down, she got them one, that young Boba, her rock, was a power, was about, because it's nine. It's a common shot, marrow, and grass, and what half, and what, and higher, she got them one. Gangala, and wash, on your car, the ash, iron, and young, and the dark, and the survival, the south path, and Holland, and the path, and the camp of the one, the wash, and the wash, with the Mahalo, and the high, with the power, with the bottle, with the giant, and the dash, and carry the home, the bottle, and the one, and the half, in English. So keep on the side of the one, and the peace, and the still over. Or no, the enemies begins more, with a meeting up, with the head. They got the concept of the people and something to the hit ones. They are said, I want to start them off from the nation, Israel, you want to remember. But they're constantly together with 1%, confederate against the time of Eden, the Ishmaelites and Moab, and the Greeks. The Bible, our American, the speech of the Hamilton Tyree. The series of children of them, which one was that. We to them as to the media, to civil, the people, the super prayer. They became a dog with food. They became a like part. CD, the part, and some who said that people said was the one possession. Who might go up with them like a weed. And something before the wind, the fire with the wood, the flames, and some point of fire. So once you feed them with a tempest, and you have triggered the storm. Fill their face with shame that they will see anymore. And then we got over and trouble forever. Doing. And then we put the shame and perish. And you know, no. When it's your house, when it's high, over all things. It's the ISUPK. This is better be your power, king of heaven and earth, or fulfilling. Power, the humble of a shot, this does now, right now. The evils and curses and punishment and destruction. In the heathen, speak against us, the prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. So evil and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel and refuse to give them school. Of their riches, and into thy sanctuary. So evil and curses and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations, the drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments are enemies, and the team of the army, the Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, the Intelligence, militia, the tribe, the nation, skin and possible mentality, the wisdom, the lesbian, the spies, because of witchcraft, suspicion, army, navy, air force, greed, forgery, government internet, and the air give access channels, unlimited channels, and bring the spirit of many of the people. Seek to stop them, bring super destruction. All the people that stand in the way and try to stop them from casting the wolves. So the planet earth, let loose all the plagues, for the world to and through earth, and consume them. When the plagues should cause the thief and murder, let the hour shall fight and gate it from down the planet source. Healing, come up against us, in the earth. The people might all, this is what I've done. All the things spread through the media, through the whole world. Because the people are coming, the people are shut. So, the children in shadow need to be seated. So today we're going to continue the reading in the Hebrew. We continue to read in the book of Genesis chapter 47, continuing in verse 2. And the book of Genesis, chapter 47, and verse 2 in the Hebrew. Wamapatazar, Akayawo, Wapaka, Kamash, and Eshayam. Wayatazagam, Lapanya, or I, street, Wayamar, or I, Allah, Akayawa, Maha, Maha Shayakam, Wayamar, wa, Allah, or I, Ra'aiha, Tasana'a, Ibadayaka, Gum, Anakanawa, Gum, Abawathi Yanawa. It's 4. Wayamaru, Allah, Para'ai, the Gamwa, Para, Ba'arataza, Banawa, Kaya, Ayan, Para'ai, Lataza'ana, Ashar, La'ai Badayaka, Kaya, Kabad, Hara'aiba, Ba'arataza, Pana'aina, Wa'aita, Yeshabawa, Na'a, Ibadayaka, Ba'arataza, Yeshun. Verse 5, Wayamar, Para'ai, Allah, Yawasap, La'amar, Abayaka, Wa'akayaka, Ba'awa, Alayaka. Verse 6, Arataza, Matazarayam, Lapanyaka, Awaha, Bomaita, Arataza, Awashab, Ath, Abayaka, Ata, Akayaka, Yashabawa, Ma'arataza, Yashun, Wa'amma, Yada'aitha, Wayash, Ma, Anashaya, Kayal, Washamatham, Yesharaya, Watan, Aya, Hashar, Laya, 7. Wayaba'a, Yawasap, Yaikwa, Abayawa, Wayaimada, Yawa, Ya Para'ai, Wayabarak, Yaikwa, Para'ai, 8. Wayamar, Para'ai, Allah, Yaikwa, Ham, Yam, Yamaya, Samaya, Kayayaka. In the English, book of Genesis, chapter 47, and verse 2. And he took some of his brethren, even 5 men, and presented them unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto his brethren, What is your occupation? And they said unto Pharaoh, Thy servants are shepherds, both we and also our fathers. Verse 4, they said moreover unto Pharaoh, For to sojourn in the land are we come, for thy servants have no pasture for their flocks, for the famine is sore in the land of Canaan. Now therefore, we pray thee, let thy servants dwell in the land of Goshen. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, saying, Thy father and thy brethren are come unto thee, and the land of Egypt is before thee. In the best of the land make thy father and thy brethren to dwell, and in the land of Goshen let them dwell. And if thou knowest any men of activity among them, then make them rulers over my cattle. Verse 7, and Joseph brought in Jacob his father, and set him before Pharaoh, and Jacob blessed Pharaoh. Verse 8, and Pharaoh said unto Jacob, How old art thou? Right, so we'll continue again in the Hebrew. Then we go in and read the scripture. The book of Genesis. Chapter 47 and verse 9. Wayamar Yaikwa Allah para I Yamaya Chanaya Magawayaria Shalashiyam Wamaata Shana Ma'aita Ra'ayam Ayawa Yamaya Chanaya Hiyaya Wala'a Asayagawa Yamaya Chanaya Hayaya Abataya Wayamaya Magawa Rayaham is 10. Wayabarak Yaipab or I Yawatiza Malapanya or I is 11. Wayawasham Yawasap Abayawa Waata Akayawa Wayatan Laham Akatiza Ba'aratiza Maratizaya Bamayata Ba'aratiza or I Masas Ka Ashar Tazawa or I 12. Wayakal Yawasap Abayawa Wa'ata Akayawa Wa'ata Kal Bayah Abayawa Lakam Lapanya Hatap 15. Walakam Ayana Ayat Bakal Aratasa Kaya Kabad Araiba Maada Watlaham Arataza Matazaraya Wa Arataza Kanaaina Mapanya Haraiba 14. Wayalapaka Walapata Lawasap Kal Akasap Anamatiza'a Ba'arataza Matazaraya Waba'arataza Kanaaina Bashaba Bashar Ham Shabarayam Wayaba Yawasap Akasap Wayaf Arai 15. Wayatam Akasap Matazara Ma'arataza Matazaraya Wa'arataza Kanaaina Wayaba'awa Ka Matazaraya Allah Yawasap La'amar Lanawa Lakam Walama Namawa Nagadaka Kaya Abasa Kasap in English. The book of Genesis chapter 47 and verse 9. And Jacob said unto Pharaoh, the days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years. Few and evil have the days of the years of my life been, and have not attained unto the days of the years of my life, of my fathers in the days of their pilgrimage. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh and went out from before Pharaoh. And Joseph placed his father and his brethren and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt, and in the best of the land, and in the land of Ramses, as Pharaoh had commanded. And Joseph nourished his father and his brethren, all his father's household, with bread according to their families. And there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they bought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. 15. And when money failed in the land of Egypt, the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, Give us bread, or why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth. So we see here now there's a precious time where the prophecy that Joseph gave is coming to pass. And at this point in time, we see where the famine is starting to get real dread. So much so that the people didn't have no more money to buy bread. You understand? To buy stuff to make bread, buy the corn, etc. So with that now, it's going into another aspect of where when the money done, the only thing that they could give is either themselves or their family. So as we read further, we'll be able to see what happened. And what we see today is nothing strange, because this will happen today in these times. It has happened in different areas, and we could see as the world climate is changing, that you will see money fail. You understand? And the only thing that could hold men together is brotherhood, because they would have nothing else. You understand? Because when that famine and when these trials and tribulations come, the only thing that will make us survive is the men who are around. You understand? There's nothing else to be able to help. Because at that time, not even your money will help you in most cases. You understand? But brotherhood. All right, so we continue in the Hebrew. The book of Genesis, chapter 47 and verse 16. Wayamar Yawasap, Abawa, Makonayakam, Waatam, Waatan, Lakam, Bamakwana Yakam, Ma, Apasa, Kasap, 17. Wayabaya Awa, Ath, Makonayaham, Allah Yawasap, Wayatan Laham, Yawasap, Laham, Wasawasayam, Wabamakon, Hatazaamna, Wabamakon, Abakora, Wabakama Mariam, Wayana Halama, Balakam, Bakar, Bakunaham, Basan, Ahan Hawa, verse 18. Watham, Hasana, Hawa, Wayabaawa, Alayawa, Basana, Hasana Yath, Wayamarwa, Lawa, La'a, Nakakad, Maadania, Kaya, Ma, Tham, Akasap, Wamakwan, Abaham, Allah, Adania, La'a, Nasahara, Lapanya, Adania, Lathayim, Atam, Gawayathanawa, Wa'adan Namatha Nawa. 19. Laham, Manawath, La'ayanayaka, Gam, Anan, Anaka Nawa, Gam, Adamata Nawa, Kuna, Atanawa, Wa'atha, Adamath Nawa, Balakam, Wanahana, Anakanawa, Wa'adamathanawa, Ibadayah, La Para'ai, Wasna, Zara'ai, Wanakayam, Wala'a, Nabawath, Wahadanyama, La'a, Thasham, verse 20. Wayakwan, Yawasap, Af, Kal, Adamath, Matizariah, La Paraai, Kaya, Makarawa, Matizara, Ayash, Shadahawa, Kaya, Kazapa, La Iham, Araiba, Waathayaha, Arataza, La Paraai, verse 21. Waatha Hamaima, Aibayara, Athawa, La Irayam, Matazara, Gabawal, Matazaraya, Wadai, Matazahawa, verse 22. Ra, Adamath, Akahaniyam, La'a, Kana, Kaya, Kakwa, Lakahana, Wahanayam, Ma'atha, Ara'ai, Wa'akalawa, Ath, Kakwam, Ashar, Athan, Laham, Ara'ai, Aila, Khan, La'a, Makarawa, Atha, Adanamatham. The English, the book of Genesis, chapter 47, verse 16. And Joseph said, give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle. If money failed, and they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses, and for the flocks, and for the cattle of herds, and for the asses, and he fed them with bread for all the cattle for that year. When that year was ended, they came unto him the second year, and said unto him, we will not hide it from my lord, how that our money is spent. My lord also hath our herds of cattle. There is not aught left in the sight of my lord, but our bodies and our lands. Verse 19, wherefore shall we die before thine eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh, and give us seed, that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate. Verse 20, and Joseph brought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, and for the Egyptians sold every man his field, because the famine prevailed over them, so the land became Pharaoh's. Verse 21, and as for the people, he removed them to the cities, and from one end of the border of Egypt, even to the other end thereof. Verse 22, only the land of the priests bought he not, for the priests had a portion assigned them of Pharaoh, and did eat their portion what Pharaoh gave them, wherefore they sold not their lands. And so I'll continue reading in the Hebrew. Book of Genesis, chapter 47, and verse 23. Wayamar Yawasap, La Aima, Ana, Panayathia, Athakam, Ayawam, Watha, Adamathia, Mathkam, La Paraai, Lakam, Zaraai, Wazaraitham, Adam, verse 24, Wahayaha, Bath, Wa'atha, Wanathatham, Kamayashayah, La Paraai, Wa Arabai, Hayatha, Hayaha, Lakam, Lazarai, Asada, Wala'a Kalahkam, wala ashara, babath yakam, wala akal, latapahram, lata akam, verse 25, wayamarwa, akaya tanawa, manataza'a, kankan, ba'ayanaya, hadaniya, wahaya yanawa, ibadayam, lapara'ai, verse 26, wayasham, yawasak, lakapa, aida, hayawam, hazaha, ar, adamath, matazaraya, lapara'ai, lakamash, pura, adamath, hakayanayam, labadama, la'a, hayata, lapara'ai, verse 27, wayashab, Yaipal, Bakarataza, Matazarayam, Shaba'ai, Aishara, Shan, Wayahayam, Yabyam, Yaipal, Shanaya, Kayayawa, Shaba'ai, Shanayam, Wa'ara by Ayam, Wa'amath, Shana, 29, Waya Korau, Waya Korabawa, Yamyam, Yamaya Yasha'ala, Lamawath, Wayakwara, Labanawa, Yawasap, Wayamar, Awa, Aman, Matazara, Matazataya, Kana, Ba'ayan Yaka, Shanayam, Na'a, Yadaka, Takata, Yarakaya, Wa'ai, Shayaf, Aimadaya, Kasad, Wa'atam, La'a, Na'a, Sakwaba, Ranaya, Ramatazarian. In English, the book of Genesis, chapter 47 and verse 23. Then Joseph said unto the people, Behold, I have bought you this day and your land for Pharaoh. Lo, here is seed for you, and you shall sow the land. And it shall come to pass in the increase that ye shall give the fifth part unto Pharaoh, and 4 parts shall be your own, for seed of the field, and for your food, and for them of your household, and for food for your little ones. And they said, Thou hast saved our lives. Let us find grace in thy sight, my Lord, and we will be Pharaoh's servants. 26. And Joseph made a law over the land of Egypt unto this day, that Pharaoh should have the fifth part, except the land of the priests only, which became not Pharaoh's. Verse 27. And Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt, in the country of Goshen, and they had possessions therein, and grew and multiplied exceedingly. Verse 28. Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years. So the whole age of Jacob was 147 years. And the time drew nigh that Israel must die. And he called his son Joseph, and said unto him, If now I have found grace in thy sight, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh, and deal kindly and truly with me. Bury me not, I pray thee, in Egypt. So we see here the continuation again of what is taking place within these children of Israel throughout the famine, and we see in the progression of what took place and how Joseph became a great ruler and was able to get the land of Egypt from, from the common Egyptian to the point where Pharaoh owned everything in the land of Egypt. Right? And we see here We also, Jacob, you understand, grew to was a very good age, full age, right? And he was able to live up to 147 years, you understand, at that time. So you continue reading in Hebrew. Book of Genesis, chapter 47 and verse 30. Washakabathaya, Ima, Abatai, Wanashaya Anayah, Watazaria, Wakara, Warathana, Tanaya, Wakabarakam, Wayamar, Anakaya, Aisha, Kadabaraka, verse 31, Wayamar, Ashabai, Waya, Wayashabai, Lawa, Wayashathakawa, Yashala, Ayla, Asha, Amata. The book of Genesis, chapter 48 and verse 1. Wayahaya, Akaraya, Adabarius, La Allah, Wayama, La Yawasab, Panaha, Awayaka, Palaha, Wayakaka, Tata, Shadaya, Madyawa, Aimawa, Ath, Manasha, Wa'ata, Aparayam, Stu, Wayagad, La Yaquab, Wayamar, Hana'a, Banaka, Yawasab, Ba'a, Banayawa, Aimawa, Ath, Manasha, Wa'atha, Aparayam, Stu, Wayagad, La Yaquab, Wayamar, Hanaha, Banaka, Yawasab, Ba'a, Aliaka, Wayata Kazakwa, Yashala, Wayashab, Aya, Hamata, Yustri, Wayamar, Yaquab, Allah, Yawasab, Allah, Shadaya, Naraaha, Aliyah, Balawaz, Baratiza, Anahaina, Wayabaraka, Athaya, Yawasab, Aliyah, Ananaya, Maparaka, Waharabaya, Yakab, Wanata, Hayaka, Lapa, Hanhala, Abaya, Wanata, Taya, Ata, Haratiza, as Ata, Lazaraika, Akarayaka, Akaza, Iwalam, verse 5, Wa'aitha, Shaniya, Badiyaka, Hanawala Dayam, Laka, Ba'aratiza, Matizaraya, Ida, Ba'aya, Alayaka, Matizaraya, Laya, Aparayam, Wamana Shaya, Kara'a Waban, Washamai Iwan, Wayahayawa, Aya. Book of Genesis, chapter 47 and verse 30. But I will die with my fathers, Salaki, but I will lie with my fathers, And thou shalt carry me out of Egypt, and bury me in their burying place. And he said, I will do as thou hast said. And he said, swear unto me. And he sware unto him. And Israel bowed himself unto the bed's head. Book of Genesis, chapter 48 and verse 1. And it came to pass after these things that one told Joseph, behold, thy father is sick. And he took with him his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. One told Jacob and said, behold, thy son Joseph cometh unto thee. And Israel strengthened himself and sat upon the bed. And Jacob said unto Joseph, God Almighty appeared unto me at Luz in the land of Canaan, and blessed me. Spoke and said unto me, behold, I will make thee fruitful, and multiply thee, and I will make thee a multitude of the people, and I will give thee land to thy seed, and after thy seed for an everlasting possession. Verse 5. And now thy two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, which were born unto thee in the land of Egypt, before I came unto thee to Egypt, are mine. As Reuben and Simeon, they shall be mine. As we continue in the Hebrew, so we see the point where Israel is going to bless the sons of Joseph, and Ephraim and Manasseh became, part of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. The book of Genesis, chapter 48 and verse 6. وَمَوَالَدَا تَقَى الشَّارِ حَوَلَدَاث أَخَرَايَهُمْ لَقَى يَحْيَاوَ آرْ شَمْ أَخَيَّاهُمْ يَقْرَأَوَا وَنَقَالَ بِسَبْ وَأَنَايَ وَبَأَيَّا وَقَدَيْ وَثَا أَلْيَا وَقَال وَأَرَاتِزَا كَنَعَيْنَ وَآخ وَأَدَرَاكْ وَأَيْوَا كَبَأَرَاكْ أَرَاتِزَا لَبَلَا وَأَقْرَاث وَأَقْوَى بَرَاكْ شَمْ وَدَرَاكْ أَقْرَاث أَوَآ وَيَاث لَقَمْ ويرعى يشعال ثاب يا وصاب ويمار مهام الله اثنان ويمار وصاب الله أبياو بدياهم الشار مثان لا يا الحين وزها ويمار وقم نعا اليا وأبا ركب وستن وآين يا تشعال Kabadawa, Mazakwan, La'a, Yawakal, Larawath, Wayagash, Atham, Aliyawo, Wayashakwa, Laham, Wayakab, Pakwa, Laham, Silem, Wayamar, Yashal, Allah, Yawasab, Ra'a, Panyaka, La'a, Palalataya, Wahadna, Para'aka, Ataya, Alahayim, Gam, Atha, Zara'aika, 12. Wayawat Za'a, Yawasab, Thum, Mahima, Warakao Yawa, Wayashatha Kawa. La apa yawa aratiza Book of Genesis, chapter 48 and verse 6. And the issue, Salakia, and the issue which thou begettest after them shall be thine, and shall be called after the name of their brethren in their inheritance. And as for me, when I came from Padan, Rachel died by me in the land of Canaan in the way, when yet there was but a little way to come up unto Bepharath, and I buried her there in the way of Bepharath. The same is Bethlehem. And Joseph, Salakia, Israel beheld Joseph's son, said, what are these? And Joseph said unto his father, they are my sons, whom God hath given me in this place. And he said, bring them, I pray thee, unto me, and I will bless them. Now the eyes of Israel were dim for age, so that he could not see. And he brought them near unto him, and he kissed them, and embraced them. Verse 11. And Israel said unto Joseph, I had not thought to see their face. Lo, God hath showed me also thy seed. Verse 12. And Joseph brought them out from between his knees, and he bowed himself with his face to the earth. Right, so you continue reading in Hebrew, book of Genesis, chapter 48 and verse 13. Wayakopar, Yawasap, Atar, Shanayaham, Ath, Apariyam, Bayama Yamayawa, Mashalam, Mashama Allah, Yasha'ala, wa Atar, Manasa, Basama Alawa, Maya Yanaya, Maya Mayan, Yasha'ala, Wayagasha, Aliyawa, verse 14. Wayashalakam, Yasha'ala, Af, and Yam. So like Yam Yanawa, Wayashaf, I, Ra'ash, Apariyam, Wahawa'a, Ha'ara, Ataza Ayara, Wa'ata, Shama'alawa, I, Ra'ash, Manasha, Shakal, Yadayawa, Kaya, Manasha, Habakawa, verse 15. Wayabarak, Ath, Yawasap, Wayamar, Ha'alahayam, Asha, Athaha Lakawa, Abathaya, Apanyawa, Abraham, Wayatazakakwa, Ha'alahayam, Ara'ai, Athaya, Ma'ai, Wadaya, Ida, Hayawam, Hazaha, 16. Amala Aka, Haga'ala, Athaya, Malak, Ra'ai, Yamaraka, Ath, Anairiam, Wayakwara, Raham, Shamaya, Mumash, Washam, Abathaya, Abraham, Wayataza'aka, Kakwa, Wayada Noah, Larab, Bakorab, Arataza, verse 17. Wayara'a, Kawasap, Biya, Yashayath, Abayawa, Yad, Yanawa, Ai, Ba'ash, Apariyam, Waya Ra'ai, Ra'ai and Yawo, Waya Tamaka, Yad, Abiyawa, Lahasa Yara, Atam, Aila Rasha, Apariyam, Ai, Rasha, Manasha, Seti, Wayamar, Yawasab, Allah, Abayawa, La'an, Kan, Abaya, Kaya, Zaha, Abakar, Shadayam, Yamayanaka, Aya, Ra'ashawa, 19, Wayama Ana, Wayawa, Wayamar, Yada Aitha, Nya, Yada Aithaya, Gam, Hawa'a, Yahaya, Haw, La'aima, Wagama, Hawa'a, Yagade, Wa'awa, Lam, Akayawa, Apata, Yagadal, Mamanawa, Wasara'aiwa, Yahaya, Mala'a, Hagawayim. English Book of Genesis, chapter 48 and verse 13. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand towards Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand towards Israel's right hand, and brought them near unto him. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hands wittingly. For Manasseh was the firstborn. And he blessed Joseph and said, God before whom my father Abraham and Isaac did walk, the God which fed me all my life along this way to this day, and the angel which redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads, and let my name be named on them, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth. And when Joseph saw that his father had laid his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it displeased him, and he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head unto Manasseh's head. And Joseph said unto his father, Not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Put thy right hand upon his head. And his father refused and said, I know it, my son. I know it. He also shall become a people. He also shall be great. For truly his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his seed shall become a multitude of nations. So we see here again continually where the Lord, do things in a way that is not how always we would expect it. You understand? And he would tend to use us as those examples. You understand? And maybe you understand, and in this case, the younger bigger than it, or more pronounce a blessing on the younger, I have to say more than on the older, but usually in times past and in ancient times, you understand, the older one or the firstborn would get the inheritance from their father, the blessings from their father, etc. In this case, Ephraim got the right hand blessing, you understand, of Jacob, and Manasseh, even though he was the older one, did not get that kind of blessing. Understand that his brother got. Right, and with that, that brings us to the end of the service. We say in Martin, which is to stand. Yashar, which means Israel. My demo for Dam, the right that is east, south, which means two. Now, Bashmaya, Dash, Yash, Kai, Hawa, Malakata, Ar, Zak, Yah, Hawa. Barakis at the Wa, Yah, Bashmaya, the Thumb, and Wa, Ka, the Wa, Masalaka, Kawati, Salaka, Kawati, Malaka, the Nawa, the same one. God, or Shimon, the young, Right, Yah, Ka, Laka, Mahala, the Barak, the Women, one. He said, "Oh Father, without the temple, we're going to give you hope. You know, come, you're going to do it. Give us a little, we'll be better, give us our best, give us our better, give us nothing, temptation, give us from evil. Finally, taking the honor, hope, and glory, that was for you. We need English, we need Psalm, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Shai, the Shai, now, in each the Lord, the name of your child, please give us a call, for the king, all manner of disease, for the cleanse the leper, for the dead, for the peace, grace, cast out. In the name of your child, thank you to you. The city bless Israel, power, Hashem, your child, power, power. The Yah, the the rock, Hashem, your child, the Barama. The king to the Lord, in the name of your child, bless us and Israel in the school, in the name of your child. Thank you to you. So you want to hear, it means I lifted my eyes into the hills and rest of my head. And from the Lord, we will somebody move either in the stomach move. If you put Israel, that's one of our feet. Or as I keep on it, or it should have on my right hand. So if it's 95 days, I'm going to be my time. Check the zero. From all evil, check the zero sword. Because I can say that going forward, I'm paying. So something between you and the height, you may have a car, brush, one, the Shania, the Yarash, and the Kali, the Box, the God, the Tigers, the one car, tomorrow, the Kali, the Gawi, the Kali, the Brush, the God, the God, the Tigers, the Kali, and the Kali, the Yak, the Rock, the Kali, and the one, the Shemai, and the Yak, the Papa, the Right, the Father, the Rock, the Rock, the Shot, the Shotgun, the Good Time Machine, and the Rock, the Rock, the Rock, the Sahah. The Shalaham, Madu, the Sabbath, the Yakin, the Yash, the Shmadu, the Yanda, the Rock, the Bar, the Ham, the Dam, the Bar, the Shah, Maro, the Rash, the Rock, the Hayo, the God, Wash, the Park, the Hash, the Hiro, the Hiro, the right, the South Park. The Holland, the Park, the Trust, the Kaya, the Basho, the Mahali, the Yabari, the Yabari, the Yabari, the Daiwa, the Tash, the Kaya, the Holland, the Butler, and the one of the Hunt, the Waters. So I made a treaty, the English, people are silent of the book. One of the East, they are still over the roof, enemies leading to home. They are taking up the field of the head. They are taking back the concept that some people are consulted as a people. Said, come, the nation, about Israel, and remembrance. South of the God, 1%. nation as a more on the Greeks, the Bible, Hamana, Steve, this is what you do there. Spot. Then the big so possession. One more with no convenience. It's a house. It's high. They say ISUPK curses. Rest of the union hour. Pick up living. The hour, the name of our child, this is us now, right now. Evil and curses and punishment and destruction. Even speak against us, prophets and teachers and princes and priests. Israel brothers in school. Evil and curses and punishment and destruction. The heathen should use. Children of Israel, to the school. For their riches and the sanctuary. Evils and curses and punishment and destruction. The Edomites, the nation, the Jumblies, the Pontus, the Critics, the imperative of him. Alex and Rosamond, the church, the poor, this time, Zionist, total mission, the smart, the nation, Skinner, was a fantastic, being, lesbian, inspired, who was a witchcraft, a space move, being, of the Greeks, Wall Street, who got printed and there with the cable of his champions, and they be the champions, that vivid spirit, and the people, the stops, the strict destruction, on the ether, on the way, to try to stop us from the past, the rules, sure, the conclusion. Let loose all the planes was the political approach we do it. Student. Teaching of the leader, the house, high, table, not the five sources, which people will be no basis. I will speak that word because people do not fall, even not one. Which should be the shape of the Psalm 22. Salute. Sabbath, Ajam, Rap, Hawa Shamia Shabakata, this concludes today's Sabbath service.